Alright, welcome to the Electric Princess Overdrive. This is version 4B as in Bravo, and I think this is the last iteration of the electronics design that I'm going to end up doing. Going to start first with my clean sound. Now, that clean sound is going straight into a Kemper profiler. That's actually the default sound, rather than trying to use any kind of fancy pants amps. I've turned the gain to about 9 o'clock at a 1.9 and the amp volume up to make up for that. But so this is a very low gain. There's a little bit of reverb. That's actually from my Allen & Heath SQ5. But other than that, I believe there's nothing terribly fancy happening. Might be a little bit of limiting. I don't immediately see any levels dancing on the limiters. So probably not too much. Anyway, that's the clean sound. You don't care about the clean sound. Let's get right into the dirty sounds. Here is the basic first gain function. So this is sort of at, whatever you call that, 1 o'clock. Clean again. So don't be fooled. Of course it sounds better because it's a little bit louder, and louder always tends to sound better. But let's go to the edge, see what it does. Using a Fender American Strat in the number 2 position, which is a combination of the bridge and middle pickups with my volume control was not all the way up. It is now. So if we're going to be a little more conservative with this gain, take it down just a little bitty bit, or we can shut it off. And right now, with all these 3 switches down, it's the same as being in bypass, because it doesn't actually go through any of the circuitry. But we can change what things we do. The middle switch is what I'm calling stack, which is clean. It's a relatively minimal amount of gain. It's a linear. It's my emulation of a linear power boost of the old Electro-Harmonix linear power boost, but going through a Marshall-ish gains or tone stack that was on some amplifiers, and it's slightly modified. So it's this linear power boost that's all the way up, but with then a whole bunch of passive EQ on it. So the passive EQ eats a lot of that gain. So that's why it's only that's sort of the point of it. It's to just give it a sound, and this is specifically designed because of my personal issues that I have with making Stratocasters well, sound kind of like this. It it just sounds. I have troubles with Stratocasters. This is, and I think this just sounds a little bit better. Let's move on and see what happens with our 100 hertz switch. This doesn't, I don't really know what this does. I've got an attenuator and a booster, and the original idea was to make this as much like a Pultec EQP1 as possible. It doesn't, these controls are very iterative. So you've got an attenuation and you've got a boost, but at the very, very top part of the boost, it clearly, the impedance just goes right out, and so it actually reduces it again. And in some ways, it might just really be a variation of this stack, which is before it. I'll turn them both on. Although I think my favorite sound with this, once I've sort of dialed in a pretty sound that I like, is to put the first gain stage in there. Exciting. All of this can be altered slightly by going in the back here, and there is a high cut that's all in one way. I forget where this is tuned to. Somewhere above 8K, I think. But it also affects the way that this so you can play with all of these knobs and get something that makes you happy. Now let's switch these all out and switch in this drive. Now this is an emulation of a ZVEX, the SHO drive. Let's just turn it all the way up. This is a crackle OK. It's okay that it's crackling. It's supposed to crackle. So this is a much hairier sort of overdrive. We can use them together. You can even use this as sort of like your wee. The back cover isn't on this, so they've got a little bit more EMI interference from it, but it's kind of fun. Tell me you don't love that. So this way, you can set up a sound. Let's say that we like this sound. And then we want a lead sound to come in over it. And that's a basic tour of the Electric Princess Overdrive. Tweaker tool is of course not included. You've got an input, an output, and what you can barely see here is you have to use a standard 9-volt power supply with it. There's no facility for attaching a battery. And even though it says Electric Princess V4, it really is a 4B, which is in there somewhere. And that's just a quick little introduction to the Electric Princess. Thanks for watching. Have a great and awesome day.